Hey guys, just wanted to make a video on a form of a PP hack that I just came across. And who this will benefit are the people out there that just wants to either want to just clear content as soon as possible to get to the meat of the game, which is a grinder, as you probably realize. Or if you're having some difficulty trying to finish some of the PP restricted races, then this will allow you to bring in a much more powerful vehicle than what would normally be allowed with the restrictions. So for today, we're going to be using the Castrol Tom's Supra here, the legendary JGTC car, as an example. We'll try to bring it into a PP restricted race. So currently I have the car set up generally on racing tires, racing soft tires, and that has the PP at 751.87 there. So there's a few ways that we can manipulate the PP in this game, and one of them is in the tuning shop. Adding on parts will raise the PP, and stripping them off will lower that PP back down to its stock form there. And then there's certain items that permanently raise the PP, such as the permanent mods like weight reductions and some of the engine overhaul items there that will permanently raise the PP. And then the only way to really bring it down is other PP manipulators, which is the weight balance as well as the power restrictor there. So changing those items on the car will help bring those down. So let's bring this into a PV restricted race of 700. 700, we are over it by 52 there. So in general, not too bad. We could just swap out the tires here to a lower grip compound. So that's 729, not quite enough. If we store it into soft, then we actually just make it there at 696. And as I said, if you go into and restrict the power output, then it will also bring that down. If you hit the triangle, it will refresh it, and you can actually bring it quite a bit. And then you can put on your softer tires. When it comes to power versus grip, I always find that grip trumps power, just because, well, I play on controller, so having the ability to have a more stable vehicle does translate to a lot easier to control and more consistent driving. Now with that out of the way, now you know how a couple of the ways in order to manipulate the PP into throwing a car into one of these races. But where's the hack, you wonder? Well, the hack is actually in the tire selection here. So as you can see, we've dropped the tires from the racing soft down to the sports soft, which compromised the grip level, but also brought the PP score down significantly there, 50 points there. But with that sacrifice, as I was mentioning earlier, with that sacrifice in grip, it's going to be much more difficult to control the vehicle. So where the trick comes in is that the PP is actually much more dictated by the front tires. And in reality, that kind of makes sense, because your front tires control a huge aspect of your vehicle. It controls the steering, it controls most of the brake force, if you will. When the car dives forward on a brake, all the weight shifts to the front, and cars tend to be more front heavy as well. So it controls those aspects, as well as acceleration in front wheel and all-wheel drive cars. So putting the weight of the weighting of the points on the front tires makes sense. But I think what they didn't account for is that the rear tires have little to no effect whatsoever. So if we jump from sports soft to racing hard, it just barely brought the points up. So as you can imagine, if we bring it into the racing softs, we're only up by a couple of points, which we still fall in line here. And that allows us to enter into the race without any sort of power restrictions. And in my honest opinion, racing with a softer rear tire and a less grippy front tire makes very little difference to the overall driving experience. It does mute the handling, and that on its own is an advantage for myself in a lot of ways because I play on controller and I find the controls on certain vehicles to be incredibly twitchy and difficult to manage if your inputs are not sensitive and precise. So muting the handling actually allows me to drive a little bit quicker here. So let's go in and I'll quickly demonstrate how incredible the grip level is with just these with racing softs still in the rear. I normally drive with traction control on, but I'm going to turn it off just for this experiment here. I have no other assists that are on the vehicle except for the stabilizers, I think. So you can totally tell that I play on controllers because I just jam my buttons. I'm not even playing with the shoulder buttons. I'm playing with the square and the X at the moment. So there is no form of modulation whatsoever in my braking as well as acceleration. It's either on or full off. And just full gas, no slippage. Get back into the slipstream. Goodbye, Subi. And hard onto the brakes. Scrub those front wheels a bit. Let the understeer also control and modulate the speed. We'll just dive in there, do a gutter run overtake. And there you have it. Very easy. We took eight positions so far. A little bit of slippage, full hammer. And that's 9 positions in just 1 lap, and we have 5 laps to go. As you can see, this will be really easy to conquer this. So I hope that helps you guys out if you're having any sort of difficulty in clearing events. Just drop the grip level of the front tire down and max out that grip on the rear tire, and you will find that it makes very little difference to the overall car's feeling. It may even improve your car's feeling versus running on full racing softs, which wouldn't allow you to qualify. So yeah, check it out and happy racing.